Yesterday, a grandson of my sister called me up and wanted some discussion about his career, and I told him that it's better to have two part-time jobs than to have a full-time job. And that suggestion which came to me of a sudden set me thinking. And then I did my research. Earlier to that, I had received a couple of messages from one of my friends here, and that had initiated the process. You would be amazed to know that the job trend, the employment scenario is changing so fast that your parents, people of my age group, would be shocked and stunned to see the change. And some of you would also be amazed. There was a time when we used to think of the full-time jobs. We used to think of the permanent jobs, tenure jobs. That era is over. Now is the era of temporary jobs, part-time jobs. The nature of job is so much changing that the premium jobs which used to be there are going. The skill set has changed, and skill set that has changed necessitates and results in the change of scenario as well. Do you know that 94% young men today, the millennials whom we call, they want alternative work. And that's why the work is now changing from employer and employee to the contracting and contractor party. Most of the work is shifting to the independent contractors, to vendors, and even the full-time job we used to be given to you earlier is now given to the agencies. You may be working as a janitor somewhere in a building, say, doing the job, but you are paid not by the real employer, but by an agency which hires you. So this change is changing, and as I said, alternative work is doing. Between 2005 to 2015, the most of the common work changed and changed from alternative, especially in the areas of janitorial, hard work, labor, cleaning services, administrative services, accounting services. Then came the era of technological change, and people started working from home. So they became independent contractors. I've seen some CEOs working as independent contractors, and that's doing good. That's why the unemployment market is changing now. You can be an independent contractor to 5 organizations if you are capable. Give the result and have your income. Then, there is another thing. More and more women are becoming independent workers because then they can combine the job of a homemaker. I'm not taking the word housewife. I'll say homemaker, which to me is a better terminology. Now the homemaker job and an earning part, they can do sitting in the privacy of their home. So that is changing. Secondly, people are tired of the full-time job, and that pensionary benefits and others are losing their charm. And then, another thing has changed. The social media. Can you believe that it's a multi-million-dollar company, there are billion-dollar companies like Facebook and Reddit, you are working for them, like the way I am. And I'm not charging anything. As a matter of fact, the social web started last year. It's a glorious dystopia. It's not a utopia, but it's a dystopia where everybody works for free. Of course, some work and they earn handsome profits. Look how much Mark Zuckerberg is getting. You know, long back in one of the seminars at Davos, I heard a person saying, if you are not paying, then you are the product. There are only two categories. Either you are the product or you are paying for something. So now with the social media coming, the employment changes and you become a product. A study has shown that there's a guy who delivers pizzas all the time. And do you know, apart from working on pizzas, this guy is just a nap. He has worked and contributed 1.5 million contributions to Wikipedia. And all free of cost, no payment, because he loves it. He loves working and he is not paid for that. But Wikipedia has become one of the most profitable organizations. You know, this digital labor is like meeting with free pizza and a soda. The fizz is there. The mental satisfaction is there. And you are doing that. Reddit, you know, again, the same thing. Recently, you went in a venture fund for $50 million. So, you see the change is shifting. The change is shifting from the permanent jobs to independent contractors or to temporary jobs. So permanence is giving way to temporary. Full-time is giving way to casual, part-time and independent contractors. Can you believe another thing? Why do people work free? They are being paid in mental satisfaction. And that is why Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Tumblr, name it, there are hundreds of them, and Wikipedia. They make you volunteer, they make you work, and then they use the targets, skills, clicks and everything. And this online sharing is a natural tap for human condition. You know, you use selfies to target ads and boost the profit. So users' opinion just lead to the money. Another thing is changing, and that is the concept of effective currency. Now you are paid sometime in money, most of the time when you are either as a contractor or as a temporary worker or a casual worker. But you don't forget, when you are working on the social media, you are not being paid money, but you are being paid effective currency. That means it affects your emotions and sentiments and brain, but it doesn't put a penny in your pockets. Some people say, well, we establish a camaraderie, the friends, the circles, the social circles, and people get very enamored of them. For example, there is one Soupy on Reddit. They have 10 million subscribers. Then come the groups. Now, when you form a group, say on Facebook, anybody targeting, you have already identified your interest. So the employer or the manufacturer can target that group directly. What happens now? I put my comment on the YouTube, and when you open it, the first thing you see is an advertisement. The money is going to YouTube. So, I am generating employment for the people who work for YouTube. My work payment is that I am conveying my ideas to you. There's a mental satisfaction I'm getting. When I put an article on WordPress, or put a note on Facebook, I make a comment on Facebook, I'm giving vent to my feelings, my emotions, and also doing a job of educating people. But the real money, the currency is going to the Facebook, because as many friends go there and they see my note, some or the other, they would also see the advertisements that are there. And when they see persistently those ads, they are generating income for the people. So the economic circle, I may not be getting paid. That's something different. But I'm generating employment for other people. So the employment scenario, as I said, is undergoing so fast that you cannot comprehend it. And as a matter of fact, you would find that in the near future, the concept of the permanent jobs would be over. People would not like it. Now what happens? You are paid, say, in some job per hour, and on some jobs, piece. The monotony is there in a full-time job. You work for 8 hours and you get tired. Now what happens is people are going to have 2 part-time jobs. One part-time job, 4 hours, 3 hours, then they take a couple of hours break and then they work for 4 hours. The job is different. So it gives, even if it's the same discipline, the parameters would differ and you would not get tired, you would not be suffering of monotony, and you would be having more pleasure. Secondly, your ambit of networking would increase. Thirdly, your contribution to your pension fund would not be affected, rather they might increase. Fourthly, you have something to fall back on. Even if one part-time employer kicks you out, you can sustain yourself by going on the other, and the process continues. There is never a danger of absolute unemployment. You might be underemployed for some time, but you are never absolutely unemployed. So the whole change of the employment scenario from permanent jobs to not so permanent jobs, from full-time jobs to temporary jobs, part-time jobs, and to the independent contractors. Now, as an independent contractor, you can pick and go for more than 2, 3, 4 people depending on your capabilities. And I've seen many independent contractors, they take up too many jobs and they hire further subcontract them. So the job comes to them, then they subcontract to another person, it goes to them, but then the level, multi-tier marketing used to be there, now multi-tier job market is coming up there. Who is going to suffer? This way, nobody is going to suffer. It will enhance the employability and it will change the skill sets. When you're an independent contractor, or when you work for 2 employers, the parameters would change and your skill sets would not be confined to one set of parameters. So socially, economically, it would be better. Thirdly, now we are becoming more individualistic. We are more concerned with our own self. So when you are on a social media, you are expanding your horizon. You are exposed to more opinions, more thoughts, more ideas. And those ideas generate further employment. So this change in the scenario is not a double-edged sword, basically. But it's basically a cultural change. It's going to be a cultural shock to the people who used to think of safe, steady employment. The safe, steady employment is a matter of past. It will continue. I'm not saying it will finish off. They are plodders. Like, tortoise, they keep on working. But the quantum progress would not be there. They will live comfortably, but nothing to be dazzled about. People who are able to change the concept and the thought pattern according to the need, change in the social structure and the economic structure would lead the economy. And that's why this employment change is going to be very crucial. This would lead to a social change. So employment change leads to economic change, and then it leads to the social change, and that's the future I visualize in this sector.